Hi guys and welcome back to the channel, VAG Technic. It's Friday evening, so it's just me and the doggo left. Unfortunately, the doggo can't really help me what we'll be doing tonight, but Unleash she's a super good security. So if you're coming to us and you see the gates shut, don't try to open them. You never know what will be behind the gates. But as you've seen on this video, we have something not special and special. We have a normal vehicle here, and the normal vehicle is a Q2 in S-Line, in petrol, for a service, full service. So I'll be doing spark plugs, oil filter, air filter, oil of course. The lady owner wants to do brakes, didn't find out why yet, but we'll find out soon. We've got everything here ready to be swapped, and we also have to do like a pre-MOT check, so we have to make sure the car will pass an MOT or fail the MOT, and before it will fail we have to tell her like something needs doing or advise the owner what needs doing. So that will be probably the less interesting job. And the more interesting information, the Seat Leon Cupra 290, which is not 290 anymore. And if you remember, this car was in 3 videos now. And I also have a good news. If you remember, I've been to Slovakia with my RS6, and somehow we managed to come to agreement with Profit Tuning in Slovakia that will be opening a branch with a dyno in the house here in the UK, West Midlands. So this car was already tuned by Profit Tuning. The company will be power division. Also we will have some good stuff for the C8, 4-litre RS6, Lambos, RSQ8s, literally the V8 platform. So this car was actually brought to us, if you remember, with some funny smoke coming from the exhaust, which was actually a burning oil. Then we find out there's a cracked cylinder head, and on the end of the day the owner agreed to actually repair it. So we supplied the cylinder head. The cylinder head went to the machine shop, new head gasket, new cylinder head bolts, all the covers, everything to the last gasket was replaced to actually repair the car. The good news is now the engine doesn't smoke anymore, which is good. However, the bad news was when we went for a drive with the car, the turbo was boosting from very low RPM, and it looks like it was running lean because you can hear some kind of a detonation coming from the engine. It didn't throw a misfire or anything like that, but it didn't feel good. On the high RPM it was sort of alright, but especially in the low or mid-range RPM when the car is driven most of the time, it didn't really feel good. So again, we contacted the owner and told them, listen mate, the car's been tuned, I don't know by who and how, but it doesn't sound good. So we done a bit of a data here and there from driving, and we find out it's running lean. So we have to open up the ECU. We took the software which was in the ECU because you can't do it through the OBD unfortunately, and we send it to our guy, and our guy find out that the turbo was mapped in, it was boosting more obviously, but no one actually touched the fuel map or the lambda, like the end lambda. So unfortunately the car was running lean, which means it was overheating, but not by a low coolant or not circulating coolant around the engine, but it was overheating by not putting more fuel into the combustion chamber, because fuel is not only making the explosions, but depends how amount of fuel is getting in there, and what's burned and what's left is cooling the combustion chamber with the cylinder head, with the pistons and everything. It's cooling it down, which means the lambda afterwards is checking what was the air fuel mixture burned in the combustion chamber and what's the result. So in this case the lambda was really bad. So what we did, well, we contact the owner again and ask him if we want to have the car retuned, because we're telling everyone, whoever is coming to us, if you have a car with a tune and you want us to build you an engine, we don't have a problem to build you an engine, but unfortunately if we don't know what software you're running, etc, we will not give you any warranty on the engine, because you can even run forged titanium engine, and if you have a really shit map it will blow up. And I don't know, for some reason in the UK it's very popular that people are switching off all the protection knock sensors. Who need them? Duh. So in this case I'm not sure if something was actually switched off, but when I drove the car there was no misfire. After we agree we will do the software on it, we went for a drive, and cylinder 1 has a misfire, which means obviously there was a problem. Then we find out the spark plugs, Max, the heat number was 9, it should be 7. So they have really cold spark plugs for the engine. That spark plug should be for high revving natural engine probably, which is like running high revs with really high temperatures. And the spark plug was like really deep. It was a sports spark plug, I'm not saying, but we swapped the spark plugs, we went for another drive, it was all good. So not only the engine is tuned power wise and the turbo, how it's delivering the air and fuel and everything, it's also tuned with all the small details. So this Cupra 290, like all of them, have a limited slip differential, which means if one of the wheels actually starts spinning, the clutches will kick in, it will lock the diff, and both of the wheels will run the same time, which will help the car for grip and shoot in straight line with more power, which will be put down onto the tarmac. So this map actually is adjusted with the limited slip differential as well. Previously, when we went for a drive in the first video, you put your foot down, you have that really bad boost hill, so the wheels tried to spin, but they didn't spin. The car tried to like jump, so it went like and then it grabbed and it went. Right now, when there's a wheel spin detected, it will slowly hold the power down, and when it's gripping again, it will slowly release the power again, which is much more smoother. It's saving your tires, it's saving probably the differential as well and everything. So right now, how the car is tuned is day and night. Of course, I'll show you the locks, what we did, and also small features like you have the car in comfort, it doesn't do any pops and bangs. You have it in sport mode or Cupra mode, there's a really decent pops and bangs. So whatever software you are after, this guy can deliver. And when we're gonna have the dyno here, hopefully in a couple of weeks, we can do magic. So currently the car is in comfort mode, so you need a bit of a fuel as well. And if you're gonna rev the car, there's no pops and bangs. If you will put it in sport mode or Cupra mode, you have very decent pops and bangs. Also, when you drive in the car, when you have it in comfort and you're gonna do a lift, it will not do any pops or bangs. When you have it in sport or Cupra mode, when you lift, you have like half a second up to 1 second with really decent pops and bangs. So I think the car is tuned really good now, especially the fueling adjusted to the turbo. Probably because we don't have a dyno, we're guessing, but this map, which was actually slightly adjusted to the data what was sent to Slovakia, it was running about at 450 bhp still, which is, for this kind of a car, plenty. So currently the car is ready for collection, so I will probably leave the Q2 running and I will show you the data logs what we have, and then we're gonna put this on the ramp. So how I'm going to the office, which is on the end of the building. We have very sad doggo here. She would like to go home because it's very late. She'd like to go on the sofa, but we have to do brake replacement and service on the Q2. But meanwhile, let's start with the first ramp. We have another one, RS4 B7. Nobody wants to work on them anymore because they're all dinosaurs. Don't blame them, but somebody gotta do it. So here we are. Cooler, we got all the new suspension arms on the bottom were replaced, which is good. The top ones were not replaced, we have to do them. There's a gearbox left. It used to be an engine, which is currently right here. The cylinder heads are removed. The boards and everything looks cool, so we're doing like a top end rebuild, timing chains, reseal the whole thing and do it all up. Also, this owner decided to do the rear suspension for many reasons. We are removing the DRC pipes, which are really crunchy. And as you can see, the chassis is in the condition where it's now or never. So again, we'll be dropping off what we can. So fuel tank, all the DRC pipes gotta come off. We're gonna strip it all down from these covers, and we're gonna do the same protection like we did on my B5 S4 again. So that's the plan with another one, B7 RS4. Meanwhile, we had like few of them here for some other things, but yeah, we have them more and more often because people really want to keep them alive and do like a refreshment of the engine or whatever comes to their mind. So more things what need doing. My B5 S4 stripped down, one time there will be a video, a very sad video, but I have to confirm what happened to it, but soon. Next up, we have a Q7, which is here a bit of a longer, because we pre-order, as you can see, new camshafts, new sprockets and everything. So this is the one what actually failed on this side, because the camshaft sprockets didn't want to visit the dentist, and unfortunately they died. So I'm not sure where are the old ones, but they were somewhere around here. And yeah, so we're waiting for the cylinder heads for some time, and we'll be doing the timing chains, of course. This engine was stripped to a bare block with crank and pistons in it, so the only thing was not done is literally the bottom end. There's a new oil pump. You can see all this stuff is being replaced, and this is a very special genuine tool from Volkswagen, just to let you know. This is how the sprocket should have a play according to Le Manual. 1 and 2. Of course, if you will release these springs on the sprocket, there will be no play, yeah, but you can't have it fully tight because of oil lubrication and etc, etc. So we will do oil map on this one as well, because we think this is happening because of the oil pressure from the factory, which is variable, and variable is no good. Next up, we have an empty run when we're going to do a service, and we also do have a B8 S4, which the owner ringed me, like, we've done an engine rebuild and the car don't want to start, and it might be season warranty and this and that. So of course we give him the registration, gave us the invoice number, and we find out from an engine rebuild we did timing chains, PCV, water pump, thermostat, and I think we resealed the cylinder heads, the sprockets and stuff. So we didn't done an engine rebuild, and potentially it was seized. Luckily, after a starter motor replacement, the engine is running and there is no more issues. So that is sorted. And also my R8, my poor R8. I took the covers off because some smart people told me the chassis is cracked. So I'll tell you in the next video because it's stripped down. So wait for the next video with the R8, guys. But let's go to the office and let me show you the data logs. Okay, so auto tuner, very good thing to have if you want to do data logs. You have everything what you wish to have there. VCDS is quite limited, first problem, and VCDS is not doing the lock so quickly, and this one here is just doing it like really tiny lock, so it's getting data from the car which are much more accurate, and you can actually see from the lock, from the RPM, how it's rising one by one, what's happening with the whole vehicle. So this is the first one where we actually have the misfire, where you can probably see on these hills. So this red one over here is actually RPM. You can see even the RPM was cutting. So we started on 4th gear from 2000 RPM. It was good. And right here where the turbo starts boosting, right here, it starts misfiring. So this car have the funny spark plugs what I mentioned. We swap them for NGK ones, which should be there. And after we replaced the spark plug, it was all good. However, before this map was actually flushed in with the original map, where the cylinder had cracked, we didn't have a misfire. And that car was driven by the owner, who can confirm. It was driven by me before we stripped it down. I driven after we built it, and there was no misfire. So yeah, definitely something was going on with the software which didn't detect any kind of an issue. With the map which is on DNR, all the safety features are still on, which means you have a high detonation, so knock sensors, it will go to limp mode. You have any kind of a misfire detected, you will go to limp mode. Anything what is not reached, which is set up by the software, you will get a limp mode. The limp mode is not a good thing, I know, but it's protecting the engine, guys, so whatever will go wrong, it's better to have a limp mode, and the car is protected by the software than have a new engine, a new cylinder head, let's say, or even worse, catastrophic failure what we have here in the past. So after the plug was replaced, this is the data log what we want to see. So again, I do like how the line is actually linear. So again, the red one, this is RPM. is rising very nicely, and unfortunately we have to stop here at 6,000 RPM. However, from 2,000 RPM, actually 1600 RPM, we put the foot down and straight away boost request was 2000 millibar with atmospheric pressure, which is 1 bar, and the turbo start boosting somewhere around here. So how the RPM is rising, the request by the ECU was rising as well, and when we reach about that 4000 RPM, we have full boost, which is requested with the actual value, and there is no funny wheel spin going on, no turbo hill, nothing like that. The engine is nice and steady going to 6,000 RPM, which is beautiful. At this point, which is 5,900 RPM, you can see the boost request is 2571 millibar, actual was 2547. Wastegate duty, you can still boost more, but we don't want to push the engine because it's not forged or anything like that. Lambda 082, which to me is good. Injection timing and everything is up to 7.5 degrees. So this is a very safe tune. You can of course push the engine, but then you can't complain if it's going to fail. But what I want to show you, the ignition timing on the beginning was only up to 4 degrees, which my RS6 is tuned exactly the same. And last year I did 15,000 miles. It went to Nürburgring twice. Misha drove the car. I was driving the car like stolen every single day when it was started in the summer. And the car is still here. I have zero issues with the vehicle. The software was done exactly to the car. And if I have any kind of a problem, the car will go in a limp mode. All the protection is still there. And I'm super happy with it. So if you want to have a safe map on your vehicle, give us a shout, because so far we are able to take the maps out and send them out for checks, and I'm doing loads of phone calls to Slovakia, and the guy who we're doing the company at the moment is like really good, and he's telling me and showing me like really scary stuff, guys. And we have loads of people here, oh, I tuned my car, couple of weeks later, issue, and I'm talking about really bad internal issues. So be careful where you're gonna go. I won't be mentioning no names where the car was tuned, or I will not mention any names even after, because I don't want to get a beef with other people. But even with my experience, what I've got, we have a Cupra where we went for tune and stuff, and fuck me, that car was driving for 3 weeks and it went to shit. So it's a sad story. I'm not saying all of them are bad, like the software and stuff, but you gotta ask yourself a question: why did I go to Slovakia with my RS6 on the end of the day? There will be more videos, of course, with the RS6. Probably for someone a bit disappointed, probably for someone not a good video, but I'm gonna do the videos as things are. Yeah, I mean, I don't have nothing to hide anyways, and yeah, with this software, if whoever did the software wanna get in touch with me and wanna have a discussion, of course, man, no problem. Yeah, we've got the old software downloaded from the ECU. We can open it up on the table and discuss it. But I mean, you know, we can clearly see the final result: cracked cylinder head on several spots. So nothing more I can say really. So that's all from the tuning. Let's go to do a bit of a service on the Q2. That's an interesting feature. Wonder what other Audi have that. Audi Q2 1.5 TSI with a DSG gearbox. So for 23 plate, the car is actually quite dusty in the engine bay. So I'm not sure what was happening, but it's everywhere. It's quite dirty. But we'll do service. Also, we have to throw a ball to Mr. Doggo. Come on, come on. Yep, that's what he like all the time. Anyways, we have the brakes here. So the pads are actually ATE and Paget, and I'm not sure who made what, but we have the dog bag with the ball. That's amazing. And yes, we have new pads. Don't worry about it. Also, front disc M pads And of course we have oil filter, 4 spark plugs, pollen filter and air filter. So all this gotta be fitted. First of all, I want to drain the oil. Meanwhile, we'll be dripping out. I want to do all the filters and we have to find the locking wheel nut. So let's get to it. So Q2 on the ramp. We have some kind of all-year Goodyear tires on it. 4 season, which is good. I mean, the discs are not the worst. I wonder how it looks like from inside, but the rear parts are probably getting a bit low, so yeah, they need replacing. The car's obviously dirty, but there's nothing to do with MOT. I don't see any Kazi repairs at the moment with the aerosol sprays or something like that, which is good. Again, front discs doesn't look bad. The pads are probably 3-4 mil left, which is not bad. Coil spring still there. All good, don't see any problem with that. I don't think from underneath we will have any kind of oil leaks or some faults which will be like MOT failure. So again, coil spring there, not broken, not leaking. Tires, but we have a bubble right here. Whee! So that will be advisory. And again, pads 3-4 mil, not bad. Even the car as a whole car, it is a bit dirty, obviously, no hard feelings, but it doesn't have any dodgy repairs, which is good. So if it's going to be cleaned up and stuff, I think it will look good. Rear parts, still there, a bit low. Discs, not the worst, but she wanted decent parts, so we will do decent parts. Let's lift the car up, have a look from underneath. So from underneath, no surprise, there's the exhaust, not touching anything. Not making any noises. But there's water coming from the exhaust. That means the gasket is gone and is leaking coolant. No, I'm joking, it's just condensation. So coil spring is there. I will be very surprised if it wasn't there. So looks all good. It's not even that rusty for a UK car yet, but it will be soon. And this one is probably with some kind of an OPF filter, I believe. Nothing to see. We have to take the covers off. We'll be taking the wheels off. We will check the play and the suspension if there's any. But all the dust covers for the ball joints, they're all good. They're not cracking. Nothing is split, which is fine. CV boot is there. On the other side, same old. Everything looks good. CV boot. Let me check the drop link. Got any play? But I don't think it will. Nope. That's good. Other side, good. Suspension arms, bushing good. Other side, good. So far, nothing is telling us there's an issue. We're gonna drop off the main cover for the engine so we can drain the oil. And we have to lift the car up, which I believe is not definitely there. We need to put it somewhere here on the chassis. We'll check the play. If there's any in the front suspension, I'm gonna drain the oil. So much better, so we can finally see this beast of an engine. That's a dry shaft. It's in the CV boot, still there. We have a, well, I wouldn't call it a plate because obviously this whole dry shaft is like spokes on the shaft. The shaft is slightly misting oil, nothing serious, but you can see it's misty here. From the other side it's dry. That's good. Engine wise, the beast of an engine, not leaking. So that's good. This filter looks like it's there ever since. I have to check the year of manufacture. It's definitely genuine, which is good and not good, maybe, we'll find out. Gearbox, DSG with mechatronics, so you have to be a guy with a medal. You can't use any spanner, you have to have a book, and if you will not do it correctly, it will explode. So we gotta be careful, always read the manuals. So, yeah. I don't think this car shouldn't pass the MOT. It looks good. We're gonna check the play and the suspension. We shouldn't have any because when we're going inside to the workshop over the small hump, it usually knocks or something. That's an indicator. But I don't see anything wrong, but we're gonna check it. So let's drain the oil. We'll try to release the filter, which is there ever since. Hopefully that will be not a write-off car because of a filter which is not coming off. And then we're gonna do the rest of the service. check the compressions from 1 to 4. They are all the same. Of course, I drained the oil before, and now the engine is fully seized up. You don't have to be worried about it. If you're turning an engine without starting it a few times on the starter motor, nothing will happen. There is amount of oil which can't be taken out of the engine anyways. There's probably like 0.6, 0.7 liter of oil sitting like a film on the camshaft, in the cylinder head, in the sump, which will never get out unless you're gonna do like a proper flush to make it clean. So you don't have to be worried about that. We're gonna put the camera inside the cylinders now. If we're happy with it, we'll put new spark plugs in there. Some of you are wondering now, why do I put the camera into almost a brand new engine? It is 3 years old, there's not much miles on the engine, but I want to know how an engine from Audi look alike after that mileage. Reason why, we build engines as well, and I want to see all these small details after the engine is put back together and is running certain miles, how the cylinders look alike, like the piston look alike. And that will tell you a lot. So even on this one, I can see a few scratches here and there, which is unavoidable really. You're always gonna get them. And carbon buildup, not much. So that means the engine is running fine. Compressions were good. Spark plug looks pretty much all the same. So I'm happy with the engine condition as it is. We can put new spark plugs in there. We can put it back together, put new air filter, and then we're gonna try to unscrew the oil filter.
They called, got me back in my head, oh. No sleep, I've been up in my bed, oh. Let me know, if you feel it the same, if you playing the game, why you saying my name? I can read your eyes, got me hypnotized. Oh, you don't gotta hide, your body says it all tonight. These are the nights I chase, cause you stick in my head, in my head, stick in my head, in my head, stick in my head. And I want you to know that I can't get one night without you. Yeah, stick in my head, in my head, stick in my head, in my head, stick in my head. And I want you to know that I can't get one night without you. In my head. No rest, no calm, your voice in the dark. Oh, one look, one move, and it all falls
So we done the service reset and the rear brake reset. It will set it up, and this is the rear pads. You can see the inner, what I couldn't see, is low. So shout out to the owner. And also the front ones were very close to cutting the brake wear sensor. The disc in the front has a bit of a lip, so by me that will be changed anyways. The rear one was sort of alright, not that bad. It's all sorted. So next up we have to change the pollen filter, tied all the wheels of course, and then we have to go for a drive. 23. Okay, so quick test drive. We have to be careful because we are under supervision from the camera. I'm not sure if it's recording voices as well and sounds, but we have to be careful. You never know who's watching you. But the Q2, I mean, when it comes to the check what we did, I don't see why it should fail the MOT. The one tire on the driver's side front is like advisory. If you want to have two tires, probably in the front, ideally you need to have the, you know, same thread on them, so ideally two in the front. On these lower speeds you can't even feel it too much, which is not a big problem, but obviously if you're gonna drive on the motorway probably you can feel it. Also the tires are a bit chew out here and there from all the curbs and stuff, so parking is a bit of a problem. But yeah, I mean the car feels good. It's a typical small hatchback which wants to be a SUV from outside. Yeah, and there's nothing new what you will figure out with these smaller cars. It's all a bit of a plastic car. When I first time seen the Q2 on the roads, I was like, history is repeating himself. Audi bring the A2 back from the grave. And I didn't like the shape absolutely at all. In the S-Line it looks sort of alright, but yeah, it's not that type kind of a car what I would really like to buy. And let's be honest guys, all of them are pretty much the same. There's minimum differences in design. If you're gonna put a Skoda, Volkswagen, you know, you call it next to each other, it's a problem to actually sometimes recognize them from a bit of a more far away. But yeah, it's a car which will get you from the A to B, and it's probably cheaper on around 1.5 in a DSG. It's comfortable and stuff, but yeah, I'm going back to the garage guys. Of course, done a bit of a pressure on the brakes before I went from the garage, so we don't smash into the first lamppost. And yeah, I mean the car feels good, can't really fault it. It's 3 years old, so I'll be more surprised if there will be something majorly wrong with it. But yeah, the brakes are braking fine, not juddering, not making any funny noises. So I'm going back guys. We will do an invoice and I'll have to call the owner so she can collect it. If you want to leave a comment, I didn't put the spring on the rear caliper, I did. So the Q2 was collected today. I'm going home, got some chores to do, and the total bill for the job what you've seen on the Q2 was £1,068. So genuine brakes, genuine service bits. When it comes to labor, we charge 3 hours, so I put 1 hour for the front disc and pads, 1 hour for the rear disc and pads, and 1 hour for the service and check. So the only advisory from us was the bubble on the tire really, so she was pretty happy with it. And yeah, I'm going home guys. So that's all from the video, it's all from the workshop for now. We will be filming whatever again will be going on here. And thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Take care for now. See ya.